The National Health Service in England is in a very difficult situation. 5 more years of a Tory government will lead to longer waiting lists. 5 more years of a Tory government will lead to more and more people not getting the social care they deserve and need. And 5 more years would mean many of those going through a mental health crisis will not get the support they need and deserve. I am determined that a Labour government will invest properly in our National Health Service. Look all across the UK at the cuts and closures that have taken place. And there's a price to be paid. And so it's all very well congratulating firefighters, paramedics, ambulance drivers and police officers and security officers when they rush to the scene of a disaster when the rest of us are trying to get away to a place of safety. They go and put themselves in danger that the rest of us may be safe. I absolutely praise, congratulate and thank them. But I tell you this, it's all made more difficult when 20,000 police officers have lost their jobs in the past 7 years. And so our proposal is that we will put 10,000 more police officers on the streets all across the UK. Properly funded police and community policing in order to make everyone safer. A Labour government will support education in Wales and Scotland, and I'm very proud of one of our proposals, which will be for English schools, but I'm sure, I know, and it will, because the Welsh Government is very keen on culture and music. I want every child in every school to be able to learn a musical instrument, because it's something that helps their creativity and their imagination. So, by voting Labour, by electing Labour MPs tomorrow, you're electing a government that's going to challenge the economic narrative that we've had in this country for the past 7 years. We've also seen absurd and obscene amounts of money squirreled away into tax havens on exotic islands around the world. And at the same time, all across the country, what's happening? Schools underfunded, libraries underfunded or closed. So much of our community fabric destroyed on the altar of the idea that somehow or other you cut your way to prosperity. Well, you don't. You don't cut your way to prosperity. So we're saying 2 things here. One is a Labour government will be really serious about investment. We're really serious about tariff-free access to the European market to maintain manufacturing jobs here in North Wales as well as all over the UK. And we will establish a national investment bank which will have at its disposal over 10 years £500 billion, which will be invested fairly all across Britain. So it will be, yes, in Scotland, yes, in Wales, and in every English region. Because we cannot go on being the country in the world that doesn't invest when we should and allows so much to be put into property speculation when it should be put into good quality housing for all, as well as jobs for all through manufacturing industry. And so we have, thank you, we have a very serious set of economic proposals there. And so we've got to look at the issues of rights at work. We've got to look at the issues of rights at work all over the UK. At the moment, we have, as I said, people on 0 hours contract with very few rights. We have a government that's introduced fees to go to an employment tribunal, and even costs might be awarded against the individual going there. Well, we've got a workers' charter. And that workers' charter, I won't give you all, it's too long, but it's very full and very good. I urge you to read it. First of all, full employment rights from day one of employment. Secondly, an end to bogus self-employment, where employers offer people work but don't really offer them a job and say, well, you go self-employed, it won't cost me anything, I won't have to pay any employer's national insurance, you won't get any benefits, you won't get any security. Well, I'm sorry, that's not acceptable in this country. Full employment rights. And an end to 0 hours contracts, and particularly important, I think, is a living wage, a real living wage of £10 an hour by 2020. That £10 an hour real living wage will make a big difference to an awful lot of families. So, tomorrow, the choice. The choice is quite simple. 5 more years of a Tory government, 5 more years of austerity, 5 more years of cuts, or something different. A government that is serious about representing people, and a government that would not be afraid to pick up the phone, not be afraid. Hang on 1 second, I'm not done yet. Thank you. A government that would not be afraid to pick up the phone to Donald Trump and say, listen, mate, you're wrong on trying to destroy the Paris Climate Change Agreement. And you're wrong for this very simple reason. We all live on one planet. There isn't any other planet. And if we don't look after it and protect it, it won't be there. Our future will not be there. And so it does mean a government that is interested and serious about supporting and protecting our natural environment and the air quality, river quality and sea quality for all of us. There is no hiding place from pollution. It's time for a change. Time for a change, for a government that invests across the whole of the UK, that supports people all across the UK, and deals with the issues of inequality and poverty. Will it cost? Yes, it will cost. It'll cost to get rid of university fees in England. It will cost in terms of free school meals for all primary school children in England, and preschool places for all 2 to 4-year-olds. It does cost. I fully understand that. And it does mean that taxation has to be raised elsewhere. Therefore, there will be no tax rise for 95% of the population of this country.